Hi Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 2020 full moon reading for you. Now, this is a very special full moon. Not only is it the first full moon of the decade, but the first full moon of the decade is a lunar eclipse. So this moon, this Luna, is just so terribly special and has so much energy to it. This full moon is in Cancer, and it is just absolutely all about the heart, all about what your soul needs to move you forward. And it is a profoundly powerful full moon. And the new moon that ended 2019 was also a lunar eclipse, so a new moon eclipse, and it's just beautiful to have that synchronicity to this. It's so powerful. All right, so let's get started, Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus, and see what this moon has in store for you. Now, I have out here every aspect of this moon that needs to be addressed, so I will get to that in just a moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your spirit guide animal cards over to the side, and I'll be drawing a card from there at the end. And then I'm putting the Moonology cards and the Queen of the Moon cards over to the side. These will be layered on top of the traditional tarot to give deeper insight, deeper understanding as to what the moon, as to what Luna wants you to know. There we go. All right, so let's see now, Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus, what January 2020's full moon has in store for you. How will January 2020's full moon affect Leo? How will January 2020's full moon affect Leo? How will January's 2020 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 full moon affect Leo? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Fantastic. Okay. So at the center of everything, Leo, we have the Lover's card. This is a Gemini energy. This is a time frame of May 21st to June 20th. But you have love right at your center. And then you are crowned with the 10 of Cups. That is absolutely beautiful. And then we have the 9 of Swords, the 7 of Swords, the 3 of Cups, the Tower reversed. Okay, that's very interesting. And then the 10 of Pentacles. You have a repeat of the number 10 here. So there is a conclusion of a cycle very much coming through, which is, oh goodness, I didn't finish laying out the cards, which is astoundingly powerful. You have yourself shining through as the Queen of Wands. You have the 8 of Wands here, and you have the 7 of Pentacles. The repeat of the number 7 is saying things have to be kept on the up and up. Any lies that are told, that you tell, that anybody tells to you, they are going to be made into a bigger deal than intended, and they are also going to be seen very easily by you. So also make sure here, not saying that you would say anything sneaky or, anything like that, but just saying really try to stay away from that during this time. I just want you to be able to see everything. Okay, very good. So that is really quite, this is very nice. Okay, and I like the digression. You have 10 of Cups, 9 of Swords, 8 of Swords. So 10, 9, 8, and then 8, 9, 10. You are seeing a change and you are moving forward, but also this love, this joy, this happiness that is coming into your life that is, connecting with you is changing things. It's changing the game. So let's talk a little bit about this full moon and this full moon eclipse in Cancer. It is absolutely beautiful. So what we have here is we have the Queen of the Moon and we have the Moonology cards. The Queen of the Moon is saying power, and this is a blossoming of power. This is also a very strong connection to the sacred feminine, to what your heart needs, to a sense of sacred truths being revealed, but also things forgotten, things that have been silenced for a very long time. You're regaining your voice within them. Forgotten memories are going to be coming to the surface, things that you hadn't thought of or you didn't think was a big deal. Now you're starting to see why it happened or its place within your life, and this leads you to a stronger connection to the present, but also an ancestral or a past life connection to what it is that you want, and you're going to start to feel as if things are a part of a bigger thread, a part of a bigger truth, and that's going to be leading you towards your goals. There's also a release of the past, a release of things that have been holding you back. There is a sense of connecting with your roots, connecting with a place you feel that you belong. Even if you don't have roots there, there's a sense of belonging. There's a sense of emotional connections and sanctuary being very much a part of you during this time. You're going to feel strong ties towards what used to make you very happy, especially when you were younger, like a nostalgic feeling coming around you. There is a sense of your emotions gaining more of a voice within you. So you're going to want, Leo, because this is very much a Leo thing to do, to kind of power through things, to use strength and power through. This is going to be a much more gentler approaching time. So from January 10th, which is when the full moon begins, which is when the full moon is in January, to February 9th, which is when the next full moon is, you are going to have this real embrace of power, but also this real embrace that through a sense of harmony, through a sense of peace with yourself, through kindness, you will attract more from life and you will get more from life. So this is power and a surrender to the divine, a surrender to the sacred feminine, a surrender to the beauty that is surrounding you. Oh, goodness. All right, and this moon is according to the almanac, of course, and according to the moon phases, this is the wolf moon. And here it is a hunger. There's a hunger for, with the moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaching a resolve, a personal issue coming to a head, things that have been holding you back. Personally, you are going to be very hungry for the embrace of emotional and personal truth to move you towards your power, to move you in your grace. And this is going to be what moves you forward. This is going to be what sets you free. And here during this time, you are actually going to find that this this full moon shows you a path not of kind of might equals right, but of peace equals what you truly desire and where you truly want to be. There is a sense of you calling into existence, you howling to the moon, your song being heard, calling into existence where you truly want to be and how you truly want to move forward. And that helps issues of a very personal nature coming to a resolution. And there's a strong aspect here of emotional pulls moving you forward, but also you being very connected to your feminine line. So this doesn't mean that you have to know exactly your whole line of your matriarchy, but this very much means, or all the women that have been in your family, even if you don't, you're going to hear kind of a whisper in your ears, and it's going to have a very feminine voice to it, saying, move forward this way. Oh, don't do that, do this. Kind of like Jiminy Cricket, your conscious being your guide, but there is a sense here of it having a very feminine aspect to it, and it's connecting you. It's connecting you to your higher truth and to the place that you want to be, kind of the road that you need to walk to achieve exactly what it is that you want. And then we have the full moon eclipse, which says conclusions are within reach. This full moon is going to bring about conclusions. Now, be very mindful of, during this full moon, you have the void of course at 6:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is going to make things, here the void of course, it says nothing will come of this. What you expect to come in the void of course, during the void of course, isn't going to happen. It's going to be like you have a plan, you have things set out, you know what it is that you want, you're looking at things, and then it's all going to kind of, it feels like it's like sand in your fingers. It just falls through your fingers and disappears. So here, do not, and for you, Leo, definitely do not make plans for an hour around this time, not for like all of 6 o'clock, but from like 6:30, I would actually say from 6:30 to 7:30, do not, that's it, that would be definitely it. I would say do not make any big decisions, do not make any big plans, because even though the void of course is at 6:58 p.m., there is going to be a sense of you being more impulsive during this time and thinking, oh, okay, I totally know what I'm doing. I exactly know what needs to be done to move forward and everything like that. And there's going to be trip ups and there's going to be mishaps and there's going to be things that don't go right. And I'm going to have in the description box below all the void of courses for this whole period from the 10th of January to the 9th of February. So I would very much, Spirit is saying, just do not make any big decisions during those times. It's going to be very important. Now, if you have to make a big decision, make sure you are really weighing the options. Don't do anything just kind of by chance, and be ready for the unexpected to happen, because that is going to be what's thrown your way. Okay. And then we have the full moon in Aquarius. And this says, bring love into the situation. And that is going to be one of your guiding forces, because love is really going to be changing everything for you, really coming from places of the heart, coming from the place of emotional truth and what your soul desires. Because you're on the brink of something big here. And as you move forward, the Tower inverted is very much saying that divinity is trying to push you towards something more, but they're meeting resistance, and it's from something here that's like well-meaning, but it's not working out the best for you, kind of thing. All right. So there's a need to move forward towards what you love and towards why you're here on this earthly plane, as you have your heart open to love. And now the new moon is on January 24th. As you have your heart open to love, there will be a new start coming. There will be a new way to move forward towards what your heart needs and towards what your soul desires. Cancer and Aquarius, it's all about the love. It's all about the connection of family, those you value as much as family, the family who has come before you, the ancestors who have made you up, the past lives that have shaped your soul. It's all about this for you, Leo, and it's such a powerful time. This leads you to the animals of January, and the animals of January are the brown bear, and not the brown bear, but are the bear and the owl spirit. So here, the brown bear, which we have in the spirit animal cards, says, take time out. And I'm just so focused, even when I was looking at the cards and meditating upon them before starting your video, I just kept on seeing this acorn right here. And what you're going to see is things that you desire really starting to grow. And this can also be a paw print, most definitely. But the way I'm seeing it right now is as an acorn. It's kind of like as you move forward, as you step into your future. So it's a combination of the two symbolically, the footprint and the acorn. As you step towards your future, you have cracked the shell to open up the seed to where it is that you need to be. And that's so important, because this moon phase is all about the heart's desire and planting and incubating the heart's desire like a seed into the earth. Because if you're in the northern hemisphere, this is winter for you. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, this is summer. So, did I say summer hemisphere? The southern hemisphere, this is summer. So here, there is a sense of planting, a sense of being in the womb. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, it is like having, the little incubator that you put chicks in when they're too little and they need to hatch. So that's what I see you. I see you surrounded by the warmth of the sun, but I see you looking towards something more beautiful, something more stabilizing of soul and of self. And that's going to be where your truth lies. That's where your power is. So this is the time of incubating towards your heart's desire and towards what it is that you're planting. So instead of having huge, kind of New Year's resolutions kind of things, or thinking, okay, with this moon, I'm going to attract this power and this power. There's one specific thing that you're saying. It can be rather abstract. It can be, I want happiness and harmony into my life. And that's the seed that you are planting. And with the brown bear, with taking time out, you're going to see the shell starting to crack in that seed. You're going to see things starting to sprout, because you're stepping back and you're coming at things through eyes of love, through eyes of serenity and self, and a sense of being connected to the divine. And that's going to have you, with the owl spirit, you see things clearly now. That's going to have a clarity of sight. And then as you move into February is the otter spirit, and this says you are never alone. And that is what you're going to be feeling. You're going to be feeling divinely connected with spirit, divinely connected with the divine feminine, with the sacred feminine, moving you forward. You're going to feel as if there is a greater power all around you. And quite frankly, there is. Because at the center of everything, you have the moon and the sun coming together. You have the sense of love blessing you, and you have wishes coming true, heart shining with what you truly love and where you truly love to be, and you're hand tied to it. You are steadfast to this commitment, and this leads to great change coming in. So just as you have the kind of sun shining through, kind of like a star around the heart, you have the star on the bird's cape, the white of the lights, or the golden of the lights, and then the white here, and it's kind of like inverted. And what this is doing is this is moving you forward. You're taking flight in love, and it's changing the whole entire game. As it changes the whole entire game, you see more truly what you are truly blessed with and where you are really heading. So things are going to become clearer. It doesn't have to be that all of a sudden you have this monumental epiphany and you are just completely and utterly driven towards your goals and operating just purely on love. It's very subtle here for a lot of you Leos. It's going to be very gentle. It's going to be more of a feeling of the gut. It's going to be a feeling of the heart. And because we are emotional beings, it is so important that we look at our hearts, our souls, and ourselves. And as you embrace your heart, your soul, and yourself, you become more empowered. Your mind becomes quicker. Your ideas become richer, and your passion starts leading you forward. You have the 10 of Cups right here. You have a blessing coming in. Again, you have the rainbow at your heart, the wishing, the love, the joy, and it's ending at this altar right here. And then you have the rainbow at your head. It's kind of like, yes, I see my blessings. Yes, I see what it is that I need to move forward, because this has you so connected with what you love, what you desire, and the place that your soul is really calling to be, that now it is time for celebration. And as you celebrate, you embrace the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands I always see as Heket in Greek mythology, the goddess of magic. And magic I do not believe in is conjuring here. It is very much a connection with the spirit, with the soul, with the self, and saying the God's head is hidden within me, which is in Hinduism, that is what Brahma says. He says he hid the God's head within man, because that is the one place we would not look for it. And that is the place here that you are being called to look within, to embrace your passion. So as much as the moon ignites you and stabilizes you and moves you forward in love, in understanding, and in a bounty of self, you are going to see a lot of what you focus on at night. So what you're thinking on, what you're contemplating, what you're looking towards at night, you really take action during the day, and it moves you forward in power. It moves you forward in a prosperity of self. It moves you forward in the passion that you want to create. And here at your roots, there is something here where whenever I have the 3 of Cups in a reading, and it does not matter what deck I use, but it always, always, always means there is someone who you celebrate with, or you celebrated with, or you trusted, like just absolutely and completely, where you really felt as if this was it, this was the person that you could always rely on, and now you're betrayed by them, or you were betrayed by them. And here, with the 7 of Pentacles, you are learning how to rebuild things after this betrayal, after this hurt. And you are doing so slowly and steadily, but you are growing to new heights and to new powers. And you're really learning that the power of yourself is so much mightier than you could have ever have thought and could have ever have imagined. And as that truth surrounds you and embraces you, you have the Tower coming. And it is almost as if, now, this could be an end of a Tower time for many of you Leos, all right? It's either a 7-year period or a 10-year period. I get it. The last decade was hard, all right? The last decade was very hard, most definitely. And this is saying here that there are going to be great changes that Spirit wants you to learn. Most definitely. So don't think, oh, great, 2020, absolutely perfect. It's going to be my roaring 20s. Everything's going to be happy and blissful and wonderful. Know here that there will be challenges, but right now, it's kind of like looking at everything that you have learned, everything that you have understood, and it's seeing how far you have come within the decade. All right, it's seeing how much you have changed. And as you move forward in this change, there is a sense of needing to leave something behind. And it's within this wolf moon that you really start to see it, the power of this wolf moon. And I would say very much between the 10th and the 24th, okay, there is something that is amplified. There is something that you learn that if you carry the anger with you, and it's from your past, and it is anger here, it is frustration, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I had to go through this. If you carry that with you, it will be completely overwhelming. It will bury you down, and you will actually wind up losing everything that you have gathered just to have a fight with wolves, a fight that you cannot win. All right, so here there's a sense, leave it be, and kind of leave sleeping dogs lie, move forward into this wolf moon with the protection that it does offer you. But it also is kind of forcing you here, not kind of, it is very much forcing you here to release a pain that normally you would have been holding on to, because normally you would sit there and say, well, but this is part of my truth and this is part of my power. No, you're moving forward and you've planted seeds and you've planted abundance that is now growing, that you are now nurturing, and it's a much firmer foundation than it ever was before. This leads us to the 10 of Pentacles. This is prosperity, this is wealth, this is success, and this is finding joy within life. Very much so. It's being contented. It's also knowing that you do not need the riches of kings. It is being happy with having enough. You know, they say it's statistically proving that once you reach the point to be able to pay all your bills, okay, once you exceed that point in the money making, it doesn't make anybody happier. I'm not saying that it doesn't buy anybody more stuff or anything like that, but it doesn't actually increase a person's happiness. And that's what I see coming into light here. It's kind of like, I know what I need to be happy. It's like, I don't need to be the greatest star on the block. I don't need to have the biggest and the bestest everything. I need to have what's right for me. And as you embrace that, you have the 9 of Swords. You're putting down your weapons. And again, here, it's kind of like you're cleansing them, but it also very much looks to me like the start of the star of Venus. And it's having that love come in. It's having that passion come in. And it's knowing that you do not have to fight anymore. The 9 of Swords is a place of looking at the sorrows that you have been through, but also knowing that you can live there. You can live in the sorrows of your mind. You can live in the despair of your heart. And it's actually a very easy place to go, astoundingly easy. And here with the 9 of Swords, you're going to find that you're guarded by the wolf, by this wolf moon. And as you are guarded by this wolf moon, you are going to see the battles that you have had are cleansing from your soul, meaning that you're set free, Leo. You're set free from the trials, from the tribulations, from the upsets, to be able to plant anew and move in glory towards what you truly want and towards what your heart is truly calling for. And as you do so, it moves you to the place of queen. Now, queens for me are not, it's not male or female kings and queens. Queens for me are the actors, not the actors, are the directors behind the scenes. Kings are the actors upon the stage. You are going to be much more comfortable behind the scenes, taking things in, but working towards your passion. And the passion is going to come alive during the day. I see very much as the sun fueling you forward. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere and it happens to be very cold and kind of gloomy where you are, I would very much recommend either getting a little kind of Lux light off of Amazon or something like that to be able to have even artificial sunlight on you. That would be highly beneficial. Or going out for a walk when it is daylight out, or just sitting outside or going outside for a little bit, even if you have to really, really bundle up, just to be able to have that sunlight on you, because you're going to see that it really does charge your battery. It really does help move you forward and bless you and help you create what it is that you're desiring. If you're in the southern hemisphere, then this is a perfect time for you, because you are going to be able to soak up that sunlight and really be able to see your creativity shine through. But there is something that you're working on. It's kind of like not yet. use this moon, use this time frame from January 10th to February 9th to incubate your ideas, to really look at things, and then go for it. Absolutely. And if you're saying, okay, Dane, I don't have that long a time period for which to wait, if you could wait till the new moon and then start the project, that's going to be a time where you can really kind of springboard off of things and see that change come in. All right, so let's see now what your Moonology cards have to say. How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? It's so much harder. I have a little pillow on the side right here, which I just feel like I have to share with you guys because I'm shuffling these cards. I feel a little bit oddly, but my arm kept on going to sleep because I keep on holding the cards like this right on the edge of the desk. So it's just too funny now. All right, so let's see now. How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? Oh, perfect. All right, and I'm going to just lay these out quietly, and these are going to be half. Oh, I love that you got the blue moon. And now the Queen of the Moon. How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me. Fantastic. All right, so there is quite a release and quite a bit of wisdom. Do apologize about that. That is coming in here. Let's see, can I say? Oh, I don't even know what the heck that was. Okay, so now let's see here. We have the North Nod, which is step out of your comfort zone. So here, as you embrace your love and you embrace your truth, you are stepping out of your comfort zone and you are moving towards your power. So right now, there is a sense of a release, but there's also a sense of duality of self. There's going to be two things that you are really focusing on, and that is really driving you forward. And that is going to be something that is absolutely exquisite for you. You're going to thrive off of this. It's the power of the moon and the power of the sun coming together, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the sense of a marriage of the energies coming within you that moves you forward. And it says step out of your comfort zone, because you're going to want things to be very black and white. It's kind of like white page, black print, very clear, very all laid out. And now you're going to see that there's this wonderful world of gray. And you're not going to think it's so wonderful to begin with, Leo, but it is actually going to be so tremendously freeing to look at your heart and not act impetuously, but to act from a place of love and of a place of divine truth, because that's really what's guiding you forward. And as that divine truth guides you, it brings wisdom into your life, and that's what you use to kind of climb the ladder to embrace the stars and in the sky and the bounty that is around you. And with the Eight of Wands, everything starts to change and you start to fly to new heights as you reach for the wisdom that you were born to, that is a part of your soul and yourself. This leads you to the full moon in Scorpio, which says it is time to release negativity and embrace love. It really is. And to embrace a celebration, it's time to celebrate and saying it instead of saying or looking at everything that isn't right or at the fingerprints of things or everything that needs to be done. And by the fingerprints of things, I mean what you still need to work on and what isn't exactly perfect. And I would actually say during this time period, take perfect off the table. It doesn't exist and it's going to drive you absolutely bonkers. Take perfect off the table and move forward towards what you truly desire and what your heart is truly calling for. As you do so, you are crowned with self-reflection. You start to look at yourself and you start to see so many different aspects of you. And that's how you become the queen. You become this person of power, of understanding, of truth, of bounty. And as you look at yourself, you are going to see the many steps that you have already taken in order to get to what your heart desires and where your heart needs to be. And the talking of the heart with this moon is just so important for you because the passion that makes you up, Leo, okay, that drives you forward is going to be, it's not so much as tempered, but it's going to be combined. And that's okay. That's exactly what Spirit is saying here. It's the passion that drives you is going to be combined with the love of the moon, but with the serenity of the moon, with the pull. And what's very interesting is that you are going to find with the phases of this moon, the moon pulls the tides, the moon pulls water. And what I'm seeing is your blood within you being like a river. It's a river of your life. It's a river of life for you. And it is going to be pulled with this moon as well. So know and pay very close attention to the phases of the moon during this time because they are going to have a profound effect on you. And it's going to be you stepping out of your comfort zone to really sit there and say, okay, there are bigger things going on here than I even realize. And as I embrace my truth and as I embrace my power, I embrace the power of this moon and I move forward in the passion that it brings me. Not at night. At night, it brings you contemplation, self-reflection. It brings you, a deeper sense of truth. But in the day, it brings you power. It brings you force. It brings you might. It brings you to the next level is what it brings you to. This moon brings you to the next level. And as it does so, you have the full moon in Pisces, which says balance spirituality and practicality. Do not rely solely on another person, one person who can kind of lead you wrong, really seriously, or this is a person who either you were with or who was in your life who didn't follow through, just couldn't be the person that you needed. And this is also saying here, do not fall into that pattern again, because it is going to be rather easy, because this is going to be a comfortable pattern. It's going to be something where it's familiar to you. So as you are moving forward into the power of this moon, know to really look at yourself and say, okay, this is what I need. This is how I'm moving forward. And this is the power of my heart, my soul, myself. And always go off of the heart. I cannot stress that enough for you, Leo, because there are going to be moments where you just react to things. And it's going to be that strength. It's going to be that power. And if you react from a place of love, you will be so much more bountiful than you could ever even have imagined. And then you have change. And this is changing your focus. This is changing your focus to nourishing, to expanding what you desire, to looking at what you truly want, to opening up to the truth of yourself and the truth of your soul, and saying, this is the seed that I am planting, because the seed that you are planting now is going to grow to unbelievable heights. And you are going to have loyalty and companionship during this time, or forged within this time. There is a sense of knowing a greater truth about yourself and seeing a greater power about yourself. It sets you free. It lets you fly. There's going to be some upset before the change, something that you're looking at and you're thinking, oh my gosh, is that the right thing? Isn't that the right thing? What's going on here? And what it really is that this moon is bringing your heart forward and bringing hidden desires forward. It's bringing forgotten memories, forgotten dreams to the forefront, and you're going to sit there and see that you are evolving in a way that you hadn't expected. And this leads you to the first quarter moon, which says your commitment is being tested, because the change is coming in, but it's not quite here yet. So your commitment to what it is that you want, to, to being able to move forward through all the lessons that you have learned in the way that Spirit truly desires you to move forward, like wants you to succeed, wants you to achieve. The commitment to yourself is being tested. Don't give up on you, because there's going to be something here during this time where you think, oh my gosh, this isn't worth it. It just isn't worth it. And the fact of the matter is, it is. It is so worth it. And you should be completely invested in yourself at this time, because you're going to see yourself as you invest in you. You're going to see yourself thrive. You're going to see yourself shine. You know how when you're at work or at school or wherever it is that you are, and the person compliments you, just gives you a really nice compliment, like, wow, we couldn't have done this without you, or even, wow, that blouse looks really nice, or those shoes are really great, or something to that effect. It builds us up. It builds us up. That's what you need to do for you, Leo. You need to build yourself up. You need to sit there and say, you know what? I'm really good at this. And it's not like I'm better than everybody else. It's taking competition off the table, and it's saying, I myself am really good at this. And everyone else, they're doing their own thing. They are living their lives and moving themselves forward. So I'm going to look at my success, at myself, and at my power. And as you do so, you release. You release so much that you have been holding on to, that you are actually set free. And look at that. This is the release of the past. It's kind of like this full moon, this wolf full moon. It's forcing you to release it, and you are. And you're being set free. You're finding that you transform, that you change, that you move forward towards wisdom, towards the change that you want within your life, that you need within your life. And this moves you to the blue moon, which says believe in the impossible, because the prosperity that is coming, the bounty that you will feel, the happiness that is surrounding you has felt impossible, but it's not. It is absolutely positively possible. And that is what is guiding you, is endless possibilities and endless prosperity. This leads to boundaries. You are knowing your boundaries, and you know your boundaries. You know the heartbreak and the pains that you have been through. You know the disappointment, the upset, the upheavals, and you are setting boundaries within your life. You're saying, you know what, never again. Or, yeah, no, it's never again, is what it is for a lot of you Leos. It's never, never again. Never again will I be moving in that direction. Never again will I... It's let things get so out of hand, but it's also it's something within the mind, Leo. It's like, it's not never again. Okay, so when it comes to the mind, you can never say never again, because your thoughts are your thoughts, and sometimes they just roll like oh, what are those called? Tumbleweeds across, and you can't really control it. But here, what I'm seeing is, it's never again feeling as if despair is your only option. Because for a lot of you Leos, what you have been through, you have despaired about. And this moon, and especially this wolf moon, protecting you as you cry, as you let out the pain and the sorrow that you have been through, is helping you move forward towards the truth that you really desire, towards the power of the heart, towards the power of yourself. And that leads you to self-reflection, that leads you to seeing endless possibilities of yourself, and endless manifestations of yourself, and endless roads that you can be choosing. And it brings you wisdom, it brings you insight, it brings you understanding. And let's see now, what are your spirit guide animal cards saying? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Leo, how will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? How will the January 2020 full moon affect Leo? Okay, fantastic. It's the turkey spirit. And it says, give with gratitude and grace. Give with gratitude and grace of your heart, of your soul, of yourself. And see the possibilities start to open. See yourself being crowned. See the power moving you forward. Because your subconscious message here, as you give with gratitude and grace, as the world opens up to you, is the starfish spirit, which says you are open to infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities await you. Your Moonology spirit, subconscious message, is the disseminating moon. Sorry about that. Sometimes my dyslexia just is the star that it is. The disseminating moon, which says take time to breathe out. Take time just to sigh, just to let it all out. And you're going to need to do that throughout this moon, throughout this time period from the 10th to the 9th of February. You're going to need to take time just to exhale, just to release the energy, to loosen the stress in your shoulders, to loosen the tension in your jaw, to say, okay, I know, and I am empowered. Like, I release it and it empowers me because I am not carrying this any longer. This leads you to the subconscious message of the Queen Moon, which is abundance. By releasing, you make room for endless bounty, endless prosperity, and endless abundance. And by releasing the negativity of the past, you open up the power of the present. And your subconscious message for this whole entire reading is the Knight of Wands. Knights defend queens. This is you shining through. You're up for the new adventures. You're up for the unknown. And you are moving within a power and with a purpose that is absolutely spectacular. And you are flying and soaring to new heights. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you, and I love you all. Bye.